So if you have reached the pinnacle of your career, or if you're looking for what the best of the best that Virginia Beach has to offer, stay tuned because we're not going to want to miss the last house on this list. It is an incredibly beautiful home. All right, first up, we're in Green Hills Farms, which is right across, I was going to say the street, but right across the water from Bay Island. So on the map, you'll see this little channel where you can go in and out through boats. And it's very, very close to First Landing, very, very close to Allenton, which is one of my favorite neighborhoods altogether. But this place is absolutely stunning. On this place in particular, at 3.8 million, 5 bedrooms, 4.5 full baths, 4,500 square feet. One, it doesn't look like it was built in 1981, but it is meticulous inside, and I'm actually a little bit surprised this place hasn't sold already. All right, I'm a big fan with the way this is set up. I like the wings. It has it so there's a really nice flow. The entrance to this property is incredible. I love these huge arches with all these windows, and I think they do an excellent job of showing as you walk through the door. So let's see this shot right here, right? Any good architect, any type of interior designer, when you have water, they try to pull something off like this. So you walk through the door and you want to show the feature of the property, and immediately you can see the waterfront with this huge wall of windows as you walk through the front door. Little details here, the slate tile on the entryway, really nice touch. The kind of floating slab steps going up to the second floor with the cable wire railings, I think is absolutely gorgeous. This floating bridge, this is such a cool architectural detail. One, it lets light in from both sides, and it doesn't detract from the views at all, and I think it's something that's really special architecturally that you just don't see in a lot of houses. Now, this homeowner has very similar taste in furniture to me. I love the old kind of craftsman style green and green type of architecture and design when it comes to furniture. The chairs in here, the lighting fixtures, the wainscoting, almost everything throughout this house are touches that I probably would personally pick out. And that's why it has made my top 5 list, is because personally I would love to live here. Yes, I absolutely adore this kitchen. It looks to me like this island is some custom cabinetry. It would not surprise me if they had this custom built for this kitchen. I love the brick accent wall. These pendulum lights that are floating above this island look to be like real copper fixtures. They have a beautiful range hood. If I had to guess, the backsplash tile, that subway tile on the back, if you can see in the pictures, there's this like little waves throughout of it. Usually that is a sign that something has been handcrafted and is probably a very expensive tile that they've put back there. And if you've never seen a pot filler before, the thing over the stove, that is a back saver if you're ever going to cook for a lot of people. Yeah, I'm just digging these little touches. Take for instance, the plugs. You got 3 different outlets right here on the island that match the color of the tile on the backsplash there, so it just kind of fades into it. I mean, just take a look at that fireplace. One, the stonework is gorgeous, and they went so far to have some actual copper metalwork put down right there where you would typically have the ledger. That is just a really, really nice touch. No expense was spared on the trim work. This is one of those details that you could easily gloss over, but I think is something worth noting. Whoever did their trim work did an amazing job. The extra layers they have here at the top, right next to the wine room, I can tell you that they spent a pretty penny getting these details right. Now, this is what I was talking about, the layout of the home. The way that this is situated, the majority of the homes have a waterfront view, which is just a really cool touch. And if you go over into this bathroom, now this right here is an example of a bathroom where it was properly designed and done very, very well. And anytime you see that someone runs the marble all the way up the wall, and not just in the shower, but on the accent wall and above the trim of the door, you can tell they were really paying attention and they want something exquisite. Another little detail here that I'm noticing is, especially in this photo where you see the light spilling in from the outside, you can see these are wide plank hardwood floors that are hand scraped. So that is that little detail where it looks a little bit wavy. That's when someone literally went through, and it might be a machine, or it could be actually hand scraped, but that's a really nice detail that they definitely paid for. Now, this upstairs hangout room, I think, is a really cool space. You've got a TV, you've got a little mini kitchen here. a little spot to maybe watch some sports. I love the big vaulted ceilings. This would be a really cool space for the kids to hang out, or maybe a guy's room or a sports room, that type of thing. Now this primary suite, I will say again, I really like their furniture choices. This is just my style. My wife would probably disagree with me. The vaulted ceilings with the timbers is a really nice touch. And then just look at this view from the master primary suite. That is exceptional. Now I wear the same stinking Henleys every single video. You probably see me in gray, black, green, and blue, and that's about it. So this closet would be a waste on me. My wife would enjoy it, but it would be a waste for my clothing options. The outdoor kitchen here is super cool. I like how it is butted up right against the house. So as you're cooking or as you're entertaining, you're actually looking out into the space and out into the water. The only thing that this property is missing at this price point is a stinking pool. I don't know how this person lives here this long and not have a pool, because this would just be an insane place to hang out. Now we're going to scoot down to the Sandbridge area. This is a special area because, one, you're allowed to do short-term rentals. It's been grandfathered in. If you know anything about Airbnb and short-term rentals, you're allowed to do this down here because it has been a vacation market for so long. This particular property has about, for the last 2 years, 2021, 2022, has done about $350,000, $360,000 in rental income. So if you're looking to offset the cost of the ownership of something like this, this may be a really good opportunity. This property is listed at $3.995 million, 10 bedrooms, 10 baths, nearly 8,000 square feet of entertainment and joy and fun. This is a really cool property. If you're not familiar with Sandbridge, go check out our drone tour and check out the other videos that we have there. Now, obviously, with a property of this size, you're going to need lots of parking, and you can see that kind of grand court entry there. The metal roof here is a very nice touch. That is not inexpensive, and I think it really stands out from the surrounding properties. It makes it stand out really well. I really like this photo. I think it shows off what Sandbridge is all about. You have both the oceanfront and you have Back Bay on the other side. It makes it feel very secluded, very isolated, a very special place to be. And that view right there, man, that is what you're paying for. Now, whoever designed this property, I think did an exceptional job. The windows, the vaulted ceilings, the double ceiling area, huge entertainment. I mean, this whole floor right here is just where the party would be. You have 12 spots here at the table, and I think I really like that they've chosen tile throughout this space. If you've ever stayed at a vacation property down at the beach, you know that tracking in sand is just something that you have to get used to, and this tile will make it very easy to clean up. Of course, if you're going to have this many people, that many stools, that many chairs, you need to have lots and lots of food. Look at the size of this kitchen. Dual ovens, dual refrigerators. I think they have 3 dishwashers here. You're going to need it if you're going to have that many people and that many mouths to feed. Now, with 10 bedrooms, and most of these are like full en suites, it's going to be a waste of time to show you every single one. So we'll do a very quick run through of some photos so you can see, and I'll get to the highlights. First highlight for me is if I'm on vacation and I've been down to Sandbridge and I've been down to the Outer Banks, is it's really nice to go out to the beach every single day, but inevitably 1, 2, 3, 4, a bunch of people get sunburned and you want to spend a day inside. And having a house with a movie theater indoors is a really nice touch so that you can wake up late and cool off in the AC and, you know, have a movie day. And then something this property has that not many do is a really large entertainment center with a full-size pool table and, get this, an indoor pool. Now, 3338 Eagle Nest Point is in the most northern part of Little Neck called Linwood. This is the section that's right along the water, probably has some of the best deep water access and some of the best views. Now, this property is currently listed at $4.45 million. It's been on the market for 84 days. Now, this has 5 beds and 5 baths, just under 5,600 square feet. The beauty of this spot is it's about, or just a hair over, 2 full acres. You have some 24-foot soaring ceilings, and the architecture here is really to die for. There are some parts and some details in here that I just think are really special. Now this top down view right here shows the size of this lot. It is enormous. I like the outlay of this property. Another really nice touch is this was actually built in 2019. So if you're a stickler for not having a whole bunch of old house problems, this is a perfect fit for you. I'm a big fan of this courtyard with the pavers in here. This is a really nice touch, and they have some little details in here that obviously cost some extra money to show off. The double door entry with this curved kind of covered path to make sure that you can stay out of the rain as you're inviting your guests in or bringing in groceries. And immediately you enter into a very grand space. The stairs that go around, the wainscoting that go around directly through this hallway, and then much like I said on the very first property, I think proper design is when you can walk through and you see the grand or the main feature of the house, which is being on the waterfront, being able to see directly into the great room. And there's those soaring ceilings that I was talking about. Plenty of trim work and extra details here that make the space very visually interesting while still being big. The interior designer here, I think, made some excellent choices. I love the dark blue chairs mixed in with some of the other mixers of blues and grays. And the space feels open and airy without feeling empty. Move over into the kitchen, and these custom cabinets are beautiful. It looks like these pulls are definitely something that was custom, and then there is the classic waterfall touch for the center island there, where they carry over the stonework, whether that's granite, whether that's quartz, or any other type of stone, where they carry over onto the edge. It's a very nice touch. Little details here that I'm noticing are going to be the underfloor lighting right here and along the top. That's going to look exceptionally good at nighttime. And you can see that they didn't do a tile. They carried the stone up on the backsplash, which is a really nice touch. Now, this is a pantry to die for. The custom cabinetry gets carried right in here. Plenty of storage space, whether you're going to be entertaining for a lot of food or if you've got 40 billion appliances for all those specialty items that you like to cook in the kitchen. Here's another example of just a well-detailed room. The spacing on the windows is really well done. You have this coffered ceiling with really nice accent lighting and then kind of a two-tone approach here. I think that looks like really good. Kudos to the photographer. I know how difficult it can be to capture this space. You did a really good job here without the white balance going crazy, and you still captured everything. Well done. Now this picture right here shows exactly one of my wife's dreams one day, which is to have that kind of floating couch that is hanging from the ceiling, so you can get a nice sway action, but you can actually take a nap on. And it looks like they have some nice custom screens that are put around, so it would make it so that the bugs can't get in there. All right, on into the primary suite. That looks like a California king bed if I've ever seen one in my life. And this primary suite is something made of in dreams. That soaker tub is huge. The marble tiles down on the floor are absolutely stunning. And that shower is something I probably would never, ever leave. Now, like I said on the previous property, the closet space would probably be wasted on me. I tend to dress pretty simply and wear some of the similar things over and over again. I don't mind dressing up, but this just wouldn't be for me. It looks like in some of the supplemental bathrooms here, they have really taken an eye to detail. The sliding glass doors, the tile work, the vanity, the glass, all of it is a really nice touch, even in the other bathrooms. Now, this outdoor living space is truly exceptional. The stonework surrounding the grill, pavers around the pool, and the simple, elegant shape of this pool is exactly what I would be looking for. If I was going to pick a listing in Virginia Beach right now to move in myself, this would probably be it. Now, holy Sean, this place is crazy. You have to come see this.
Holy crap.
It's like this place is like a freaking resort.
It is. I think I've droned this one.
And 1060 Bobolink Drive is one of the listings in Virginia Beach that probably is exceptional, not just for our area, but the entire state of Virginia. This place is not only enormous, but it's very obvious that the homeowner has put an eye of detail on every single aspect of this property and spared no expense when it came to doing things at a level which most people only dream about. This place is listed at $11.9 million. We have 6 bedrooms, 7 and 2 half baths, and just over 12,000 square feet. Let's take a look at this beautiful property. This shot and this shot alone, if you are in this price point, to me would probably sell the whole kit and caboodle. The outside feels like a high-end resort. The pool area, the entertainment house, is incredible. Tell you what, comment below if you've ever used the phrase kit and caboodle. Little details here that I noticed that maybe not everyone would is the riprap here is in exceptional condition. It might actually be brand new. And this is very expensive to get done and done properly. The landscaping here is incredible. And whoever has done the cross hatching on this lawn, kudos. Coming into the main entry space here, this is just a really, really cool touch. This compass, I can tell you, just because I've kind of compared the photos with the actual north-south reading, is perfectly in alignment with the actual compass. So you have north here, and that actually faces true north. So when I tell you that he spared no expense, you really have to go all out if you're going to pay a carpenter to come in here and do something this special. And there you go, the architect and designer, they did it again. You'll walk in through the front door, and what do you see? This like sprawling, I think this is a 315 linear feet of waterfront property, and probably one of the nicest neighborhoods in all of Virginia Beach. Bird Neck Point, which has the Cavalier Yacht Club, and you have the golf course community there. Something like 60% of the homes in this neighborhood are either are on the water, and the other are basically lining the golf course. If you're looking for space, big lots, this is a neighborhood that you definitely should consider. I'm going to let a lot of these photos just speak for themselves. It is hard for me to add to the beauty. Wolf, Viking, Sub-Zero, all the appliances that you would say are the best of the best, they are in here. This place has a whole house generator. You can see that they have speakers in the ceiling there. I'm sure that this whole house is wired for entertainment. So if you want to have the tunes carrying out through the entirety of the house, you can do that. This seating area is gorgeous. I don't know how to really express how beautiful this is. It is part of the island, but it's also a seating area, and you have pendulum lighting, which looks completely bespoke. The range hood that's behind it, this place is just really, really beautiful. I'll say it again, I'm just gonna try to let some of these photos speak for themselves. The layout of this property, the photos of the specialty spaces, the colors they've picked, the details, the architectural details, the carpentry, is just truly exceptional. And if you ever wanted a soaking tub with a view, I don't know if it can get any better than this. Now, you may or may not be a fan of wallpaper, and there's wallpaper choices several times throughout this house. I personally think that they chose really good touches. The tile work in the bathrooms is at a whole nother level. Here is another soaking tub. As you can probably imagine, this place is made for hosting and entertaining. I'll wrap up this property by saying again, I think the outside space here, the architectural details are what really going to sell this property. Someone who wants the best that Virginia Beach has to offer while being able to have deep water access with 2 lifts. They have Buckingham slate on the roof, which is going to last a lifetime if you know anything about roofing materials, with true copper details sprawled throughout. Marvin Infinity windows and specialty cedar that's been double dipped to last a lifetime. Now, at nearly the same price point into the north end. So this is going to live a little bit differently. In Bird's Neck Point, you're going to have deep water access where you can drop in a boat, and your waterfront views are going to be water that is semi-quiet and relaxed. In the north end, you're on the ocean front. So you get hit a little bit more with salt water, but you get oceanfront views. So basically the same price point, $12 million, 7,300 Oceanfront Avenue with 7 bedrooms, 7 full baths, and 2 half baths at 10,500 square feet. Now this one was built in 1960, but has been completely remodeled. Is a very special property because it's a double lot in the north end. And then the entrance to this property is kind of special. It kind of curves in and goes to the left, and it almost feels secret. Now, if you don't know a ton about the north end, this specific part of the north end is just outside the jet noise, or the ACUS map, the jet noise and crash zone. You're still going to hear some of it here, but you're pretty far north. You're going to get far less of it than if you were really close to the Cavalier project. You're only about 10 blocks north of the back entrance to First Landing State Park. So if you're into hiking and biking, it would be very easy to hop across Pacific and go into the park within minutes on a bike, or drop into the water with some kayaks. Now, an architectural detail that you may not necessarily notice or wonder why the eaves of this, the roof line, are so broad. The reason for this is because in mostly southern climates, you get a lot of wind-driven rain, and you want to keep the rain off the side of the building as much as possible. And so you'll see a lot of southern-specific architecture where the overhang of the roof is quite large to keep that off of the building as much as possible. And it is a rarity to be in the North End and have this amount of parking space, or even less to have a 2-car garage. Now, credit where credit is due. The listing agent on this is Miss Rocher, and she does a very, very good job of guiding clients when it comes to staging, and her photographer has done an exceptional job on this property of showcasing it to its full beauty. And if you're concerned about buying a 2-story property down at the oceanfront and not being able to utilize it into your later years, many of these properties, especially at this price point, and this one in particular, has a full-size elevator that makes it very easy to go from one floor to the next. Now, I'm going to do my absolute best, much like the last property, to let these photos speak for themselves, because at this price point, my words can only add so much. Now, this place has 2 full kitchens, and as I'm sure you noticed, the entire house is plumbed with speakers throughout the ceiling, so that as you're entertaining or having a fun summer, you're able to put on the music and put those jams on. And much like you would expect at this price point, especially if you have a double lot, you have plenty of deck space out on the back overlooking the ocean front, which is to be expected. Now, the hardwood choices throughout this entire property, they've done a really good job of the coloring. The dark hardwood floors are carried throughout the entirety of the space, and whoever picked out their rugs and colors, I think did a very, very good job. I think the space looks well proportioned, and the softness and the hardness of the materials, that really good choices here. Now, this is going to be a polarizing decision. Do you like the stainless steel top island, or do you hate it? Let me know down below in the comments. One of the things that I think is a must in this property, especially on the sides of the property to provide still having light come into the home, but providing privacy, is plantation shutters. I like that they've put those throughout this space. Now, there are plenty of en-suites throughout this house, so that if you have guests or multiple family members that are coming into town, that each one of them can have their own bathroom and still feel like royalty. Now, I think this laundry room may be a touch that many people don't necessarily know how to appreciate unless you've been on like a vacation property and been to the Outer Banks or the North End. But having a space where you can do laundry with there's lots of people, and having multiple washing machines, or even a secondary fridge where you can put drinks and things like that, or frozen items into the freezer for later on in the week. The space is enormous and is super helpful when you have multiple families in the same space. Now, this shot of the North End shows exactly where it's positioned and shows, I think, the isolation feel of the North End and why it's so incredibly special. Now, if you want to know more about the North End, we have a driving tour. You can click this link right here.